The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Corn Booth pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Hey, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
no, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh my
lovely.
God.
I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Alright, cool. Thank you. Shit. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
No, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corner with Pregame. I am your host, Jared Clem. Got a great cast of characters here tonight talking some football. This episode is called the Pac-12's Last Dance because shout out to DJ and Kelsey who had me on the High Low Sports podcast last night. You have not checked it out. It's on their YouTube and on their Twitter and everything else they throw it on because those dudes never stop. We brought up Kelsey and DJ both and myself. All three of us brought up how the Pac-12 this year, the quarterback play, the games. I think they have 4 ranked games this week, and we'll talk about them. The six-pack, we've got a great cast of characters, including a first-time guest. First of all, I'll bring in my co-host, ladies and gentlemen, the TikTok Viking, the celebrity himself, and the world's biggest Jets fan, Matt Rodazzo.
Still staying strong.
I'm still petitioning for the Carson Wentz Jets experiment. Oh, he's out. I mentioned Carson Wentz and his entire connection went down. Well, we'll get into the guests then. We got intern Chris in the background today. He's kicking ass in the back. He'll come in for his picks. Joining us now is the Bert and Ernie of the Belly Up Sports crew. One's from Auburn. The other one, I think DJ went to Montana State, I believe. He's going to yell at me for this, but he's the Hunter Renfro stunt double. He's one of the smartest human beings I know. They're both actually pretty smart dudes. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Stewart and Kelsey Coyne.
It's University of Montana. Montana State's like the Alabama to Montana. University of Montana's Auburn. So if realistically, if we were close enough, I had to throw a dart at you or something like that.
I mean, it's okay. When I come out to Ohio, you guys can just chuck darts at me all you want at this point.
It's like if I'd have said you were a Cowboy, the world's best Cowboys fan or something. You'd be like,
well, that's hurtful.
See, I rest my case. It's worse than you call me.
Not a good day to be a Cowboys fan
for a month.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Fuck! I thought I saw that update. I felt bad. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, a first-time guest on this show, joining us from the land north of the border, my favorite Canadian, host of the 1420 podcast, rabid Yankees and Trojans fan, Brett Radlinsky.
How you doing, boys?
We're doing good, man. Listen, Brett, I'm happy to have you finally on the show. We've been talking about this since I did your welcome interview of Belly Up like almost a year ago at this point. So
yeah.
It's good to actually get you on, man. The problem is, if everyone don't know, Brett and I are recording the same night. He's a busy man. I'm a busy man. It just happened to happen this way. And, of course, last but not least, sneaking in 13 minutes before he said he'd be here, our fantasy expert, our favorite Texan, but he's a Patriots fan. Ladies and gentlemen, Mason Ruck.
What's happening?
We got the full cast of characters here, boys. So we'll kick it off. We'll start off with of course, the first round. No Southern music needed today because it's a little sadder tone. First round presented by the boys over at MahlerBros.com. Promo code Belly15, 50% off some of the comfiest golf gear you'll ever wear. Their camo polos are my favorite. Also, we are still working on the Mahler Bros X Corner Booth hats. It's about me getting the design. Josh has been ready to do them for a while. So check those out. All these boys in this panel will be getting one. But that being said,
we can go right here.
Wait, yeah, right behind you. First off, well, we have some good news. We'll start off with Kareem Hunt is going back to Cleveland. all you Kareem Hunt owners who held out as long as possible, he's there. We'll obviously talk about this in the Ruck Report in a little bit. But, dude, guys, Kareem Hunt's going back to the Browns. Good news there.
Is it good news?
I mean, listen, also other running back news. All you Alexander Madison owners should start running now because Cam Akers is headed to the Vikings from the Rams. Ain't going to stop. Their biggest problem is still their defense, but hell, keep loading up on the running game. The Gus bus also up because Justice Hill sidelined with a toe injury today. And the biggest, I guess, news of the day injury-wise, and this is the most unfortunate. Listen, it is for a rival team. Devontae Smith's son, Trayvon Diggs, out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL. Happened during a non-contact injury. I've actually watched this happen before. Well, either covering a college practice or actually playing high school ball. I've watched dudes in one-on-one drills go down because they take a wrong cut. It is the scariest thing in the world. And thoughts and prayers go out to Mr. Diggs because honestly, man, as much as I love to rip on him for giving up 1,000 yards a year as a corner, he's still one of the most entertaining players in football. And it sucks for Dallas fans and it sucks for football fans in general also because, man, I'm looking forward to him and Devontae renewing their one-sided rivalry. So –
You mean the rivalry that got Trayvon sent to the defensive side of the ball?
Basically.
To begin with?
When I call him Devontae's son, I meant that literally.
Well, he wasn't able to beat him out in the receiving room, and Alabama was like, you can go play defense.
And then then Devontae drops 2 touchdowns on him on Christmas Eve last year.
And it was that last point Jared made that fully pushed Kelsey's button. Because I saw him in the corner making all those faces, and he just said the last one, and I was like, he just quickly jumped in. I was like, there we go. That was when the button was fully pushed in.
Yeah, I was doing good. I was letting it go. I was not going to say anything. Just going to sit here and cry in my own little misery.
Listen,
but you know what? At least I can yell at some other corner this time for messing up and giving up 1,000 yards this season. So that's a positive I can take out of this.
I think my biggest problem with this whole thing is that with the Diggs injury is it's the injuries have been piling up the first 3 weeks. And hell, it was the theme of your guys' show last night was the freaking injuries. So it doesn't stop. I don't know what the difference is this year because training camp was regular schedule. Guys were still going the same speed. Maybe it's just bad luck. Maybe it's front loaded this year, but the end of the season is going to have less. There's also some other crazy shit, but we'll talk injuries. Obviously, we have our fantasy guy here, Mason. Mason, what do you think was the biggest fantasy impact today with the signings, injuries, running backs, everything? What's going through your head right now? What's the biggest fantasy impact from all of today's news?
That's a good question. I think if I had to pick one out that really has an impact to most people's teams, I would say, I don't know. I think a sleeper is honestly Akers getting traded to Minnesota. I think that's absolutely going to cut into Madison's workload. I don't expect Akers to immediately have some kind of huge share on snaps or route percentage or anything like that. But I think it's absolutely going to diminish Madison's fantasy value. And I think secondly, probably the Kareem Hunt signing. Stefanski did come out and say that Ford's going to be that lead back, but I feel like it's really only a matter of time until Hunt kind of proves that he's the better back, unless, Jerome Ford's just this diamond in the rough that the Browns have just been kind of sitting on for a while. Who really knows, right? We'll have to wait a couple of weeks to really know our full answer. But to me, those two kind of stand out as the most important trades, and then I guess free agent signing with Kareem Hunt.
I'll open up to Brent. Brent, a lot of headlines coming in today.
Well, the thing with this, by the way, DJ, go Grizz. Great analogy between Montana and Montana State. I'm from Alberta. I'm not too far from Missoula, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Right on. Good on you there. The thing is with the Kareem Hunt signing, there's a reason why he wasn't playing. Yes, they running backs want a lot of money, and the owners push back on giving running backs money with all the injuries that are happening throughout the league every year. But there's a reason why this guy wasn't playing. So I don't know if Kareem Hunt is the guy to overtake that from when Chubb got hurt. Obviously, that was horrible to watch. I watched it for half a second. It reminds me of Theismann back in the day, but that was awful to watch. But with Kareem Hunt going there, I don't know how much of an impact he's going to get, because I don't think that he's going to get the touches that he needs, that he wants to make himself the next guy to go anywhere. And he's only playing for a contract. He's not playing to win anything. He's only playing for a contract for next year. And so I don't know if Kareem Hunt's the guy that's going to do anything for that team. And there's kind of the word I'm looking for now. It's collusion. It's collusion basically against running backs. It really is. It's one of those things that he's not going to get the chances to do any damage because they'll just bring another running back in from college, and these guys they're not overpaid. They're highly underpaid. But Hunt's the kind of guy that's wanting to get paid, and that's the only reason why he's playing.
I'll roll with that. I think the one knock is if you playing for money. If he's playing for his money, every rep he's going to get, he's going to go all out because he knows if he F's up on this one, he's going to be
There's no coming back. Exactly, Jared.
At best, the backup running back.
And that was kind of the. Sorry, go ahead, Jared.
Oh no, all I was going to say is that right now we see running backs dropping like flies. Eckler's ankle shot, Saquon's ankle shot. Nick Chubb out here doing his best Marshawn Lattimore impression. It's
Marcus Lattimore. If you're gonna bring up death
Marcus
memories,
Lattimore. I'm sorry, wrong Lattimore. You know exactly the South.
Like at least get the name right.
Talented South Carolina running back that was supposed to be the next big thing, and that's all I could think about the entire time. And I felt horrible even thinking that. At the same time,
don't remind me of that game.
Yeah, I remember because I was watching that game live too. It was not fun. But like with the running backs right now, Kareem has a unique opportunity because let's be honest. Besides Pierre Strong and Ford, there's not really anybody who's going to get a lot of those carries. It's both young running backs. They don't have the pass blocking ability. And honestly, they don't have the wherewithal catching the ball in the back where Hunt is a tactician at that. And here's the thing. He's never been the lead back, except for like the first 2 games before he got cut in Kansas City.
You mean when he went the whole season leading the league in rushing?
I thought he got cut 2 games in. Am I missing a year?
Literally led the league
season and then played.
Oh, okay. All right. I am literally
bet on himself. And didn't
2017. You guys got to understand. 2017 was literally the year my team won the Super Bowl. So it's a lot of alcohol-induced amnesia and just happiness.
Never blame the booze, Jared. Never blame the booze.
Never.
Go ahead,
DJ.
I think Jerome Ford is going to be the lead guy. He's going to get the bulk of the carries, but like you mentioned, Kareem Hunt's getting third down for pass blocking and catching purposes. And he's not fast anymore, but he is still a bulldozer. So he's probably going to get a lot of goal line carries. So I can see him stealing Jerome Ford's touchdown.
Mike Tolbert, baby!
A lot of people off, include that pick up Ford. So I still think Ford's the better option, but Kareem Hunt's going to piss a lot of people off with. He's going to poach some touchdowns and receptions.
If you're in a 14-team league like me and Matt R is a combo, at this point, vulturing touchdowns might be what we need to win games here. So fuck it, we're in. I'm all in on Hunt.
Don't forget, we're in the same league with you.
I know that's why we got him. We got him in Tank Dell, and I was like, all right, you know what? We did it. We did our job. We're here.
We had
look,
let him go in that.
Yeah, exactly. We drafted him and let him go. But anyways, look, Kareem is also a Cleveland guy, so there isn't that aspect to it as well. He is literally born in Cleveland, came back to Cleveland. It's a big deal for him. It's not just a contract situation for him. This is actually kind of where he wants to be. So that adds a little extra aspect to it for him wanting to play. But DJ's exactly right. Jerome Ford will get the touches. But the reason why I gave the quotations when Mason's talking about he's the lead guy is he's the lead guy between the 20s. The moment they're in the red zone, it's going to be the exact same it was for Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, where Kareem Hunt gets put in the game, stealing and hawking touchdowns right away from Nick Chubb. Every single time you saw it last season and the season before that, and you got so frustrated from it as a Nick Chubb owner, you're done. It's unless he runs it in from the 40, you're not getting any touchdowns for Nick Chubb. So Kareem Hunt's an aspect like I think it'll benefit the Browns, but Browns have bigger issues right now than just who's going to play running back. They have about 20 other issues.
I get that Hunt said he was meant to be a Cleveland Brown, and if that doesn't scream striving mediocrity and rarely attaining, and I don't know what else it does. I think that the Chubb injury actually is going to put a lot more of a spotlight on Deshaun Watson of what he can't do anymore by not playing a lot because of the situation we talked about a lot on our show. No one wants to talk about that anymore because it's been overplayed 100%. But this is going to what happened here with Chubb is going to show a lot more to Deshaun Watson's inadequacies than what maybe Kareem Hunt could do.
Yeah,
I agree wholeheartedly with that. That's look, there's been a lot of talk, especially living in the Cleveland area, you hear a lot of it where it's like, oh, Deshaun's this great quarterback. People seem to forget this dude spent a year and a half on the sidelines, and even when he was playing well, even when he was playing well, in his best season in his career, it's really 8 games. It's not a full season. We're not talking about a dude that just lit it up for 16 weeks. That's not what he was.
Oh yeah.
His playoff performances were kind of mediocre, if we're being honest. Like he had a decent second half performance in the game they lost, and when JJ Watt's on the sideline telling him, "I'm sorry, we lost that for you." Like, no, let's be honest, Deshaun didn't have a great game either. So yeah, I think people are looking at that contract and like, oh, I expect greatness. The fact is, you're not going to get it with Deshaun. You never were before whatever happened, and you're not going to get it now. I'm sorry, it's just you can't be on a upward curve and then take a year and a half off and expect to continue that upward momentum. It's just never going to happen
at all. No, you're right, 100%.
I love how the Kareem Hunt thing has been like the dominant like story in the first kind of segment, because I was figuring it was going to be this or the Akers trade, but honestly the Akers trade kind of slammed high and dry with the rise of Kieran Williams and the fact that the Rams were playing well without him, and also Akers. It just seems like Akers has just had problems with McVay since he got back from his injury. It seems like it's never fit. So that kind of honestly makes sense. He's getting moved on. I honestly love how people are making the jokes. He said something about McVay's wife, just like Goff did, and that's what got traded. So
if Minnesota doesn't run the ball, so he's going to get 4 carries a game anyway. So it's not like it matters.
Well, now I will say, DJ, that might change if they lose this week. If they lose this week, they might be, in the race for Caleb Williams, man. And maybe they just move off Kirk, bro, because
if they trade Kirk, that's different. But as long as Kirk goes there throwing dimes in his casual Coles gear, I think they're going to
trade that contract for a guy who's never won.
Maybe the Jets. Sorry, Matt in advance. But maybe the Jets look into it. If they somehow beat the Patriots, they're 2-1, but Zach Wilson still stinks, and the Vikings are 0-3. Maybe, but
I don't know.
What if the Jets lose and so do the Vikings? I don't think we talked about this on Monday, Matt, but I don't really think the Jets with this roster are gonna be complacent at 0-3, man.
No, and everybody's saying, oh, Aaron Rodgers could come back in January. He could come back in January, but he's not going to come back to a football team at this point. So if you're the Jets and you lose to the Patriots this weekend, and Zach Wilson has a Zach Wilson against the Patriots type game, he throws for like 75 yards, he's got 4 turnovers, and we lose by 20-something points, and I am calling the Vikings. I don't care what anybody thinks, like in the Jets fandom, what they think about it. I'm going to call Kirk Cousins and I'm going to say, what do you want? Here's Zach Wilson. Name me whatever your price is. And then I'm going to ride out Kirk Cousins, hope I can win maybe 6 or 7 more games after that or more. And then I'm going to let him ride off into the little sunset so he can get another guaranteed contract from other schmuck. And then I'll go draft a rookie and let him sit under Aaron Rodgers for 1 year and hope that works out. But I am not doing another year with Zach Wilson if I'm going to get what I saw last week, which is the usual Zach Wilson. I saw flashes.
Drafting him where they did, that was an absolute wreck. That should never have happened.
Well,
never have happened.
If you flash back to the Corner Booth draft special, I think DJ was on that week. It was me, Kevin, DJ, and my old co-host Samir. Me and Kevin ripped apart Zach Wilson for 20 minutes because on tape, there was no reason he should have gone above Mac Jones, Trey Lance, or I can't remember the fifth quarterback.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. There it is.
Well, you just named 4 guys who really haven't done a whole bunch. We'll get to that.
Honestly, let's be honest. You guys draft. Nobody's really done anything in this league. They were talking about that was the draft class of draft classes for quarterbacks.
That draft class was so, like, looking back, hindsight's 2020. Obviously, that draft class has turned out to be so overrated and so bad.
Well, they overhyped it. They said 2020 was going to be the changeup where the fastball was the Lawrence Fields class. But look, 4 guys from that 2020 class: Hurts, Herbert, Burrow, and my brain's gone shot here.
Don't blame the booze. Don't blame the booze.
No, it's not the booze here. My brain's just shot today. It's been a long day. Anyway, yeah. Well, you at least have 3+ quarterbacks who are on their second contract. Yeah. Who are also
you've lost the plot now, Jared. Your brain has gone a little too far away from this one. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna let you off of the break. I'm gonna go back to Matt's point though.
Thanks, Bubba.
About bringing Kirk Cousins in. And this, Brett, to your point about Kirk Cousins has never had a plus 15 defense. So a top 15 defense. He's never had a top 15 defense in his entire career at quarterback. Most of his defenses in the last few years, especially, have been 30th and 32nd ranked. Actually, I think both right now you can say they're both 32nd ranked as far as defensive quality there.
Aren't they 26th right now in the league or something? They're like
might as well be 32nd.
It's bad.
Let's be honest. It's bad. His days in Washington weren't great either. We're looking at 18 through 23 in defensive ranking. So it's not like he's ever had a defense to help him. He's carried a lot of teams to get to playoffs. And so he can win regular season games. There's no question about that. And right now, all the Jets need is somebody to win regular season games and then get to that playoff and let the defense win. That's all the Jets need. So, I mean, as far as like getting back to, Zach Wilson, if the Jets come calling, the Jets come calling. But let's also not kid ourselves about this Alexander Madison thing. This is kind of a blow to Alexander Madison's confidence. You just had the worst game of your career, everything that happened off the field.
Yeah.
And then your team came and said, "Oh, we support our player." Immediately trade for Cam Akers. If you're Alexander Madison, how do you ever recover from that as a football player with that organization? I don't think you can. I think there's going to be there's going to be a ship out of Alexander Madison here in a heartbeat. So I think there's a lot more to this than just, Cam Akers is coming. It's like, man, you just popped up Alexander Madison on a very fragile stool and then shot it right out from underneath him. And like, that's a problem in and of itself.
Because he played for a lot of that coaching stuff. Akers did, obviously, and so they brought him in knowing what he could do and what he can't do, and even with his indiscretions off the field, they were like, he's better than, not better, but they felt he's better than what we got. So we can bring this guy in. We're more comfortable with him for sure. Like, it's one of those.
One thing is, Akers, when healthy, is way more explosive than Madison. That's where it really comes down to. I'm trusting Akers. He can blow off a 45-yard touchdown off of a carry, where Madison's just going to grind me 5, 6, 7, 8 yards at a clip if he breaks a couple tackles. Also, with Akers, he's a better receiving back. When obviously there's all big ifs because if he stays healthy, right? And
Akers overall, like you're saying, Jared, is the better running back. In a vacuum, he's 100% better. It's just whether or not he's at 80+% when he's on the field. If he's banged up, if the injuries are the problem, he's not probably going to have very much success in Minnesota. If he's healthy, I think we're looking at someone who could be very relevant in fantasy, particularly if, for whatever reason they move off Cousins. Those are both big ifs, but
there's a key to what you just said, and I'm glad you just said there's a big if. Healthy. Has this guy ever played a full season in his career? Nope.
I thought
I'll just go ahead and answer that one.
And now running backs going down week in, week out. How you stay healthy, right? So that's a big question mark. It's always a big question mark. And that's why owners don't want to pay. They don't want to pay these running backs, right? They get hurt all the time. It's true.
In his 4-year career, he has played 30 total games in his 4-year career.
That's a good gig.
What is it about these Florida State running backs?
He has had 360. He's had 360 total carries. Derrick Henry almost gets that in a year. So tell me why Cam Akers is a better player than anybody on this, anybody that they could have traded for. Like, he's not going to give you more than 2 or 3 games at this point in time based off his career trajectory. Like,
I mean, I'll take a $5 Venmo bet that he plays more than 3 games.
Dude,
I'm with you, Jared. 100%. I mean,
he plays more than 3 games
to break even.
I'll say he plays 4 games and he's injured in the 4th game. He does not. I'll take the over. 5 total games for the rest of the season.
To pay off my debt to the Anthony Edwards bet, I will literally take that bet at 4 over. If not, I pay you the $20 instead of the 10.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
I'll take the spread on that.
I'm just saying, look, this guy's been so injured so often. There's no way he finishes more than 5 games this season. Like, there's no way. Like, he's just not for that offense.
It's gonna be interesting because we've seen a lot of running backs go down early and often, and especially in a year where running back contracts were so prevalent in the offseason, like Brett brought up. But fellas, the man of the hour has been waiting patiently for his time. He showed up on time to do his own segment. It's time for the Ruck Report, presented by SeatGeek. So Mason, take it away.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so it is week 4 starting in about, 45 minutes here. Yes. I am just going to give you guys a couple of sample trades here. For a lot of people, this is kind of the time when if you're not real certain about your squad, you're going to shake it up. If you are 2-0, you're looking to maybe improve your squad a little bit, just depending on how competitive your league is and how willing people are to trade. So I'll get right into it. These are just a couple of trades that I've got for teams if you're 2-0. And this fluctuates, right? Like this is depending on your squad, on your depth, how deep your league is, what you can put together off waivers. It all just depends. So first trade I've got is a 2-for-1. You're getting Kupp. You're giving away Debo Samuel, Tyler Lockett, right? Kupp, we really don't know much about this situation still. The Rams are keeping this info very, very tight. They are not letting anything out. You can't really find anything online. No one within the Rams organization has talked about it at all. But if you're 2-0, if you're willing to gamble, if you were not able to land on Puka, if you feel like your team has upside and you have room to give, room to spare, and you can throw Kupp on IR for, who knows how long, 2, 3, 4 weeks, right? Trade consider, that you can consider making, right? Debo had a great week last week. Lockett, another good week. So look, it's an opportunity to cash in while guys are hot, and get guy who might have a little bit more sustainable value in terms of fantasy. This one, I don't know how I feel about it now, given the Akers news. I've got Madison and Ayuk giving that up for Kamara. We don't really know if Akers is going to have that much of an impact here. I guess we'll be able to know over the next week or two whether or not the Vikings are going to utilize him in a way that kind of cuts down on Madison's production and his volume. But Ayuk, I believe was his injury, was it concussion? Is that what his problem was last week? Do any of you guys remember?
Shoulder.
Okay.
I was about to go yell, Chris, get us an answers.
So it says he's going to miss tonight, actually. I did not know that. Okay. So I would say that trade has a little bit of an asterisk on it. Kamara, he's coming back after week 6, I believe. So, another guy that you're going to have to throw on IR, or not IR, just on the bench. It's a gamble, right? If you're 2-0 and you feel like you can keep treading water, keep winning games with the current squad you have, but you're looking for upside to trade, you can consider making. Okay, so these are my favorite trades right here. Some people are high on this guy and think he's going to rebound. Some people think this guy is finished. I personally traded for him in one league last night. That's Josh Jacobs. I totally feel like 46 rushing yards total through 2 weeks of football is not how this guy is going to perform for the rest of the year. You can get him for almost nothing. Throw someone an offer because there is a very high chance that they took him in the first or second round. So they spent a lot of draft capital on him. They took him high, and they're looking to get anything they can get for him right now. Get any kind of recoup their value in some way, right? So, offer up guys like Ayuk, Tyler Lockett, James Conner's coming off a good season, or not a good season, a good game last week. These are guys that, if you're that opposite manager with Jacobs, like I said, you're trying to get anything and everything for Jacobs at this moment in time. And there's a good chance that they're not 2-0. Unless you're playing in an 8-man league, there's a pretty good chance that if you took Josh Jacobs in the first or second round, you're not 2-0. You're at the minimum 1-1 or 0-2.
0-1 in my work league.
So anyway, those are some trades that I like.
With Josh Jacobs.
I think that if you've got Puka, there is a lot of opportunity to cash in on that. I think if someone were to put together a package of Puka and Jameer, I think you could land yourself a top running back. I don't know if you're going to be able to get McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey is untouchable right now, but I think if you hit up whoever has Bijan in your league and you offered that package, I think they'd consider it. You might have to throw something else in there, but Puka, I know, is questionable now with that same injury from last week. So who knows if he keeps up this rate. He's doing incredible things thus far, but we'll just have to see if he's able to keep that up. That's all I got, Jared.
I got
reach out in the comments. I'm on Twitter right here in the header right here, Corner Booth MR. Feel free to answer or ask any questions, at me on Twitter, whatever.
All right, Mace, I got 2 players here trying to move in 2 different leagues. One is Mr. I'm injured half the week and then not injured at game time, Amari Cooper, and the other one is Josh Allen. I have a feeling Josh Allen I can sell high now because he's going to come off a great game because I think he just lit up the Raiders. He's probably going to light up the Commies defense. And then Amari Cooper, who honestly, I just see Deshaun Watson unraveling more and more as the season goes on. I'm trying to sell high on both these guys. You think I could get some decent comeback for him or what?
Yeah, I mean, with Allen 100%, I think people from the standpoint of trying to trade for Allen just see the boom or bust potential, right? Like, Allen is one of these dudes that I think he went for maybe like 12 week 1 against New York, and then last week completely popped off, right? So it's nothing like it's one or the other. It's total opposites, right? Polar opposites every week for him. Last week he was great, super consistent, but yeah, the turnovers are unreal. I saw a stat. He's had the most interceptions of any quarterback throughout the past 3 seasons, 51 turnovers through 3 seasons in the NFL. So yeah, high turnover rate. And then on Amari, man, I don't know how much value you're going to be able to get for him in return, just simply because, I mean, a lot of those guys on the Browns, sort of like the Steelers, dude, like they're unplayable right now because you don't know what you're getting from the quarterback. And the line is all right.
Pickens, he went for $145 and a tutty, so I was pissed as hell anyway.
Yeah, it's with him, man. I mean, I guess kind of see what you can get for him. I mean,
I might honestly try to bolster my running back core because I've got he's sitting behind DK and like I've got like 3 good receivers in that roster. Yeah, Amari's my 4th at this point. Even I drafted him higher than the other 2. Hopefully the guy who I'm trying to sucker into taking Josh Allen isn't watching the show right now. He's a friend of mine. One of my leagues. I'm trying to see if he'll take Josh Allen because he's a Josh Allen stan, and I'm trying to see if I'll sucker him into taking a trade because he's got the quarterback I want. So I'm like, ugh. All right. Either way, Mace, as always, thank you. Fellas, you know what time it is. Brett kind of made the sound earlier, but it is time for America's favorite game as we roll into this Thursday night. If you got them, crack them. Ladies and gentlemen, let's crack a 6-pack presented by the amazing people at tips.com. As my coworkers know, I blow through about a 10 a week of this stuff. Promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. This company is so great. They effed up my order and then sent me the entire order again for free. Amazing people. There we go. Seriously, like some of the best, one of the best companies I've ever worked for. Me and Matt, I think, keep their lights on the amount of times we order their shit. So either way, amazing flavors from Arnold Palmer to their spearmint to their wintergreen, all their stuff. It's all 100% hemp. There's no THC involved. If you want to get the THCP, that's a different story. Promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. Check out their website. They got a huge selection, but be careful. They sell fast. Their Biggie bags are the best value on the internet right now. I bought 2 Biggie bags before I went on vacation. I've gone through a 10.5. I loaded them up 25. I think 25 pouches of 10. I still got 4 or 5 left. I won't have to order till October, and I'm hype. But promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. All righty, first game. We're going to the Pac-12. I said this is the Pac-12 episode. We got 3 games in the 6-pack in the Passing League Conference. UCLA in Utah. Now, if you told me UCLA was going to be ranked in the top 25 this season, I would have laughed at you because my hatred of Chip Kelly supersedes anything else. He ruined my childhood by trading McCoy, Jackson, Mike Vick. But apparently kept Josh Huff on the team who had a gun charge from going across the Tampa Bay Bridge. Either way, they're taking on one of the most annoying teams to bet against, Utah. So, that being said, fellas, the spread is 4.5.
Don't bet the spread.
No. This is a pick'em. This is.
I'm saying Utah to have a good Utah bet. You just don't bet the spread for them.
Oh no, you bet straight money line because fuck the spread. It never works ever. So Kels, you were the first one to pipe up. Who are you taking here?
Give me the running Utes. I know it's their basketball team, but still, I'm running with it.
Yeah, I'll take Utah.
Because that's literally all they're going to do is run all over the place. Like that's all they're doing.
Yeah, I got intern in the background making sure everyone's picks are written down. Shout out to big intern Chris. I hope he enjoyed his birthday celebration of the Eagles running over the Vikings.
And while we're talking about Chris, real fast, sorry about that Tulane pick, Chris. My bad.
We'll bring him on screen for a second. I feel like we'll say it to his face. Hey, there he is.
Killed
Chris,
me.
I formally apologize about the Tulane pick. It was supposed to happen, and the referees took it away from us.
Killed me. I got the whole group chat laughing at me.
Well, you listened to the right guy, just the wrong week.
Yeah.
See, he says that, but yet, like Kels, then you have given me some good betting picks in the past, honestly.
I'm still pretty close to leading your pick'ems right now.
Yeah, I think in guest pick'ems, the only person who's even come close to you for a percentage is Duck, but Duck only comes on like twice a year, so it's like, listen, everybody is better than Kev because Kev just picks from whoever he hates the least that week.
Well, hold on, I can do that too.
Yeah,
but I'm not an Alabama fan, so it makes things easier for me because I can pick literally anybody.
Fair enough. All right, Chris, I had to get you on camera to get your apology from Kelsey.
No, it's okay. No, I accept it.
I appreciate you, brother. Oh, cut him off too early. I love this kid, by the way. He's like the best intern I've ever had in my life. All right. Chris already heard me I'm taking Utah as well. I do not trust UCLA, especially Chip Kelly in big games. He's one of the worst coaches when it comes to crunch time. We'll go to our first-time guest here, Brent. UCLA, Utah. You're a Pac-12 guy.
I'm a Pac-12 guy out here in the Mountain Standard Time Zone. Both teams are 3-0. Both teams are really good. UCLA actually has a habit of giving the ball away a lot, which doesn't bother me. And I'm a USC guy, so you know what I'm going to do? F UCLA. I'm going Utah to beat the spread and win outright by a lot. I think Utah wins. I think Utah wins by about 7 to 10 points this game. F UCLA every time.
See, I figured the Trojans fan would have some opinion about UCLA. My biggest problem was I was hoping somebody brought up the turnovers. I was going to see if somebody let that one go because I went and checked this morning while I was like picking games while I was on my lunch break. I was on my lunch break. I'm like, wait, aren't they like top 5 in the Pac-12 in turnovers? I was like, oh shit. And Utah is one of those defenses that are just irritating.
And Utah's got a good football team. They really do.
I think they're coaching and they just play sound football. And it's just, they're never going to win a big game.
They don't win a lot, but they don't make mistakes. Like
they don't. Yeah, they're annoying as fuck. They're that team you hate fucking playing.
No, Kelsey, I know they win a lot, but not the right time.
I was like,
hold on. They don't win the game, okay?
They don't win at the right time.
That's what he's making the point. They don't win the game. They win a lot of games.
Yes, they beat you. They beat my Trojans in the Pac-12 championship game last year. I get that, but they don't win the right games.
Put some respect
win the
on
Pac-12
the
doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah. All right, Matthew, who are you taking here?
Alex Smith is all I got to say.
Alex Smith, it's another guy I've heard from people say the Jets should go call up. That's
I've been through enough to not subject to the Jets this year. He's been through enough.
Get some help.
So you got UCLA versus Utah. I've been hearing Cam Rising's return is up in the air. I heard it's trending towards possibly like in the 90 percentile. I'm gonna go here and take the favorite. I'm gonna take the Utah on this one. Even if he doesn't come back, I think they got enough talent to get this done. But even if he comes back, so be it. Better than that. So give me Utah over UCLA.
All right, Deej.
I'm just going to keep it quick and simple. Utah probably runs away with this one. I'll even take the spread on this one. I think they'll win by north of 7.
All right. Our favorite Texan, Mason, ride us out here.
I'm with DJ. Yeah, I don't think this game's particularly close.
Clean sweep.
I think UCLA is a young team, and their quarterback is too. Dante Moore is going to be very good, but he's just he needs time to grow. So I don't think they're ready for this moment yet. I think Utah wins by at least 7.
All right. So for the record, by the way, I looked this up. When the corner booth guests plus the crew are all on a team, we are 500, by the way.
Makes me want to change my pick real fast.
We're shooting 500 when it's everyone on one team.
We're going to the Hall of Fame. You got to hit 300 to go to Hall of Fame baseball. We're going to the Hall of Fame, boys.
Exactly, right? Batting average ain't bad. But here's the kicker, right? We're still better than the Fox and CBS crews because when they're all in, I think
don't even get me started on them.
Their percentage is I think less than 40, which is hilarious.
Yeah, they're 37% when their crew is all on the same pick.
Okay, I wanted to say it was in the 30s, but I was going to take a safe number in 40, but it works either way.
I think you just jinxed that UCLA is going to win, aren't they? That's the way it's going to turn
Yeah,
out.
it's like
It's bad day here. 1420 World Headquarters on Saturday, but whatever.
There are certain things I don't bet against. One is a team that turns the ball over against a team that likes to create turnovers. I will never bet against that combination. All right.
I mean, I put my bet in already, so it's too late to change it.
Speaking of weak offenses, Alabama, what's going on? If it ever actually pops up, my computer's just slow.
It was there.
Shit right
It was there.
Yeah, I don't know why mine is being slow as hell right now. Anyway, number 15 Ole Miss versus number 13 Alabama. My computer is just having an issue today, apparently.
Just sweet talk it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a MacBook Air trying to do MacBook Pro things. All right, Ole Miss, Alabama. I will refer to my SEC specialist here, Kelsey. You don't have to pick right away, but Ole Miss.
I'm ripping the Band-Aid off.
Ole Miss, I'm not a fan of. They almost lost to Tulane, and then last week it was kind of a shaky.
Don't do that to me.
I don't want to pick Bama because their offense looks anemic, but at the same time, does Bama lose 2 games?
No. So, simple answer is no. We had the moment that I've been waiting for since Tommy Rees took over as OC, which was Nick Saban to say, you know what, you shut up and you sit down and you're going to learn how to play SEC football, which is I'm going to hand the ball off 17 times to my running back, to go score 2 touchdowns. Which is the exact thing that happened. This whole conversation about Jalen Milroe showed me the expertise. You know why Jalen Milroe showed the expertise or the leadership he wanted to see is because he didn't say anything the entire time. He probably was in the corner just laughing while Tommy Rees got yelled at during halftime of their last game. I'm not concerned at all. This is the moment that Nick Saban has with every single new OC, where he just yells at him, tells him it's time to play my way now. We gave your way a shot. We gave your guy a shot. He didn't work out. Your backup guy didn't work out. So we're going back to my guy. Game over. It's about to be literally nothing but running plays all game. You might see Jalen Milroe throw 15 passes in this game, which is exactly what Bama needs to do to win the game. Their defense is good enough. So yeah, give me Bama in this one.
There we go. All right, Mr. Mace.
I'm with Kelsey here. I feel like Tommy Rees is used to a style of football that they don't play in the SEC 100%.
I just can't.
Milroe, we know he's not the most equipped passer, but that's okay. You don't need to be. And I think Ole Miss is I think this game is going to be closer than a lot of people expect. I could see them covering for sure, but I don't see Bama dropping 2 in the first 4. I just don't see that happening. So I'll take Bama.
All right, Mr. Brett.
I tell you what, the Alabama legacy is over. What happened with Texas, it was just what happened for the rest of the season. You're going to watch the running Rebels do some damage this week, just as Texas did. That Texas score could have been a lot worse with Alabama. I'm putting money on it. Actually, I don't bet very often, but I put money on this one. Alabama loses once again, and it's got to be good. And an old USC coach, once again, I'm going back to my roots. A USC coach shows what happens with Alabama. Alabama loses. Look out for Ole Miss. Ole Miss wins by a touchdown or maybe 10.
I love it. Honestly, I do.
Running Rebel Black Bears, by the way. That's their technical nickname nowadays.
Aren't they the Sharks? The fuck happened?
No, that's their defense. Their defense is the Land Sharks for the beer, and their team is nicknamed the Rebel Black Bears now. That's their official.
Buffett.
Yeah.
Oh, big Buffett fan here. Yeah. So
me too,
peace, Jimmy. Yeah.
Well, his collaborations with Alan Jackson and Zach Brown are just like 2 of my favorite songs of all time. So I love it. So either way.
Also, would not be surprised if Brent is exactly right. To be fair, I did pick Bama to have 3 losses this season. So I mean.
I said 2, so I mean this might be their second.
I think the legacy's over. I actually do. The NIL, we get another show, but the NIL stuff, Alabama's thing is done.
Yep, that's great. I'm losing to LSU and Auburn as the rest of the way. That's just my take on that.
Oh no, I'll fully. I don't know about the Auburn game, but I definitely think LSU's that loss. I'm going to take Bama here. Nick doesn't lose two. Nick's not good after how embarrassing that win was against South Florida. It's not. They're gonna Ole Miss at home. It just doesn't feel like my gut's telling me. My brain's saying, "Oh, it's an upset, Jared. Go for it." No. My wallet's telling me stop. Just take Alabama. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to the last two possessions, but Bama's still got a good defense. Besides what Texas did to them,
It's
and
gonna be
honestly,
It's good.
listen, joyless murder ball. It's a real thing, and the best part about it is Ole Miss almost lost to Tulane, who's not the most physical team in the world. Alabama's about as physical as it gets. Mechanics throwing, they're not the best, but listen, they will be physical. I think Ole Miss will struggle with that physicality, and I will take Alabama, but I think Ole Miss will cover. I think it's going to come down to more points.
Well, let's also include that Tulane was playing with their backup quarterback. So I think that needs to be taken into account here when people rate Ole Miss so highly.
Thank you, Mason, for finally.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Smartest man in the room. There he is.
God, this is the apology I made to
You
Chris.
can't
is
see
that
the
Tulane shouldn't have
professional
lost
with the
this
shirt he's
game.
wearing.
Anyways,
Make it short and sweet. I can see Miss with the covering of the spread, but I'm gonna just take overall Bama with the win here. So give me Bama over Ole Miss.
Excellent choice, Matt.
There you go.
It was a tough decision.
All right, Deej, you go.
Alabama wins. I think they win by 14. I think Jalen Milroe's going to run in one, if not twice. I think their Ole Miss is a little bit high for 15. Bama's not as good as they used to be, but I think they'll still find a way to win like 24-10, something goofy like that.
Jesus Christ! Besides, Brent's the
I
lone
liked
wolf
you
out
until
here.
10 minutes ago, 10 seconds ago. Yeah.
Brent's the lone wolf out here. I'm waiting
Yeah,
for him to pull like the
all right.
coonskin cap on and start howling or something, but
There
go
we
full Rich Eisen.
Thrilled
But
about this. Like, I'm not happy with it, but I'm just
Oh.
if I'm betting Jared's money, I want to get it right.
yeah, exactly.
it's always my money, right? All right. Either way, we'll move on to the last Pac-12 game I put in here. Colorado at Oregon. Now it's minus 21 officially right now. It may shift. Apparently, Travis Hunter is worth at least 7 points. I don't get how that factors
Are you
in.
sure it's 7 or 17?
What did it start at before the Hunter injury?
I don't know. That's my question.
See, the thing is, like, I was talking about this with my boss at work this morning, and I was like, game shifting lines, and I thought about this because I thought about this game in the back of my head. I'm like, I wonder if Travis Hunter was playing what this line would be at right now. I think Oregon, the biggest problem, and I don't know if you guys heard Mad Dog Russo this morning on First Take. He's talking about, like, oh, I'm going to do half a gummy and all this other shit. I'm like, the fuck is he
He's still
talking
great.
about?
I still love him. Yeah, he's great.
Oh, I can't fucking stand Russo. But the thing is, oh my God, he's that
Age gap,
baseball-
I guess, Jared. Age gap, maybe. Yeah.
Well, Brett. Here's the problem: is he shits on my Diamondbacks every 5 minutes. I think he's still bitter about 2001.
Yeah, there it is.
But here's the kicker: he's not wrong. I'm honestly kind of leaning towards Colorado as my upset here, but I'm going to take them to cover. I don't think they'll win because I think the lack of athletes they have is the problem. No, not lack of athletes. It's not the problem. It's the lack of size in the middle. Oregon, honestly, has been a very good team. But I talked about this on Kelsey and DJ's show, where Oregon's the best team they've beaten this year was Texas Tech, who has not been good. They lost to Wyoming, who then again also almost beat Texas, but they 21 unanswered in the fourth quarter. You know what? Fuck it. I'm already down the mat. I'm taking Colorado as my upset. Dion, you got me believing. I'm actually wearing a Colorado-themed shirt right now.
Are you going to win and the outright win?
Win and the fucking spread. We're rolling here.
You're out of your head.
Yeah, no, I'm an Eagles fan. This shouldn't surprise anybody. Come on. Why I think this is gonna happen is because one, fuck Bo Nix. All right, betting. Every time I bet on Bo Nix, I get burned. So betting against Bo Nix, I win usually. So That being also said, this Colorado team, yes, Colorado State played up to their competition last week. Let's not act like they're a good team. They got some good guys in that ball club, but I think Colorado got a little bit of a reality check. You can't be all hyped and shit, and then expect to win a ball game. USC is gonna thump them. Your Trojans, Brent, might roll them by 30, but Oregon
106 because Williams will be out by halftime. But anyways.
Oregon, Caleb Williams is not Bo Nix. Bo Nix is not Caleb Williams. Oregon is not USC. I'm telling you right now, this Oregon Ducks team is ranked a little high for their best win being Texas Tech. Give me a one. It's going to be, listen, if you're going to take a line, take Oregon +3. That's where I'd say. I think it's going to be like a field goal win, extra point kind of bullshit, last second interception. Give me Oregon falling to Colorado. The momentum stays. This is the last hurrah before they get a reality check. I think Oregon rolls in a little too confident. Listen, the zoo up there in Eugene is definitely a hard place to play. It's loud as shit, but at the same time, I'm not a Bo Nix believer, man. They've only been beating up on bad teams. I can only reiterate it so many times. Kelsey, you're looking at me with shame and disgust. Go.
Well, that's just a standard look for me.
I'm actually I'm gonna go last because I have a lot to say about Bo Nix.
Fine, Deej.
So I'm gonna let somebody else go.
I got it. Yeah, Jared, I just want to make a little counterpoint to you. So if Oregon hasn't beat anyone, who has Colorado beat?
Thank you.
So they've whooped up on 4-5 win, and that's a big if Nebraska. TCU is probably going to win 7 to 8 games. And Colorado State's in the Mountain West. And I don't want to discount Colorado State because I think they're an underrated team who has tons of talent. But it took them 2 overtimes to beat them at home. So I think we need to, tap the brakes on, Colorado's been sharp against legitimate competition because they haven't.
Oh, so I'm not saying they've been sharp. I'm just saying if there was a game for them to pull off the upset to get this hype train overhyped before they get stomped by UCLA,
I will agree with
this
you there.
Game.
This
is the overhyped game. This is the game. If they were going to win the game to get their hype train over the top where people are dumb enough to take them against USC, this is that game. Because USC, Brent, who do they have this week, by the way?
Arizona, and then they got Arizona State, and then the couple of games that they should win, Colorado and Arizona State. Then they have games at Utah, and then they have the Notre Dame game. So there's
besides Notre Dame, I don't hear a single contender in that besides Colorado. Even Colorado will get stomped. So USC is sitting there patient. No, I said besides Notre Dame. Notre Dame and the other team that even could give them a ball game is Colorado, but Colorado lose by 14 at least.
Well, they've got to play Washington, and Washington's a solid squad. So that'll be another test.
I'm not knocking Washington. I'm just saying before they play Colorado, they play Arizona. Okay? Let's not mince words here. Arizona is not a good football team. They haven't been a good football team since my boy Nicholas St. Nick Foles was their quarterback.
That wasn't a good football team either.
Yeah, so look,
they still knocked off Oregon. So
I do not think Oregon covers here. I don't think they beat them by 3 touchdowns. I don't see that happening, even though they are at home. But I think Oregon wins this football game. I think it's probably by somewhere between 14 and 20. But I don't think they beat them by 3 touchdowns. I think Colorado is probably going to score some garbage time points at the end to make it look not as bad as it, really was. So yeah, give me Oregon to win the football game, but they don't cover.
All right, Brent, you're a Pac-12 specialist here. What do you got?
I got Oregon winning this one big. Maybe not cover the spread like you said there. I just think Oregon is a better football team, and I think the hype train is going to come to a screeching halt out there in Oregon. And then next week against the USC Trojans, it's not like that team's like you were saying there. That they're not that good. They won a couple of games that probably shouldn't have, going to overtime and everything else. I think that Oregon is a better football team. They run well. They do everything well. They don't give the ball away. And the thing is with the hype train and Coach Neon, I call it. It's like I can't stand saying Coach Prime is ridiculous. It is so ridiculous that he makes his players call him Coach Prime. But that's a me thing. Neon Dion, the hype train's going to end this weekend in Oregon, and the next week with USC. Oregon wins big. Oregon wins big. Big.
Fair enough. All right. Matthew.
If there's anything I hate more than USC quarterbacks saying yes when the Jets call them on the phone on draft day because the Jets will ruin their careers. And I'm very sorry, Mark Sanchez and Sam Darnold and whoever else we may draft in the future. It is Bo
There'll
Nix.
be another one.
David Booty.
Yeah, I'm sure. It is Bo Nix. That man has cost me so many $5 bets. I've lost count after probably about 5 or 6 of them at this point. I'm going with Colorado here for the upset. I wanted to go UCLA as my upset, but I held out for this one just for the hell of it. I love the fight and the fury and the intensity of this team. This is the biggest test of the season thus far for them, and I can't stand Bo Nix. I think this will be a game where he has multiple turnovers, and I think they come through with this one. And when they win and me and Jared cash in our upsets, I am buying me and myself, because I am poor for this wedding, my own pair of Blender Deion Sanders shades, and either that or they will look a lot like them, and they'll be spelled incorrectly because they'll come from the flea market for about a quarter of the cost.
Wow.
Attaboy. All right.
DJ.
Who's up next?
I'll keep it relatively quick. I think Oregon wins. I think they're up by north of 21 at one point, but the final spread will be like 17. So Colorado will cover. I don't trust their trenches on either side necessarily against an Oregon who's not known for their trenches, but it's still a different level there. And Colorado offensively, if you notice, they don't exactly stay on schedule. They're very big play dependent, it feels like. They need to get chunk plays. They don't really methodically slice as often. And I think against Oregon, that could get them in trouble. So we'll say Oregon, but Colorado finds a way to cover the spread and just annoys some people who take the Oregon spread. But it'll be like 34-17.
Fair enough. All right, Kels, you got to finish up, buddy. You got to take somebody.
Yep. I'm excited to take this pick. I'm not gonna leave anybody hanging. No, I have a lot to say about Bo Nix though. Bo Nix in games just in the last year against ranked opponents. Do you know what his touchdown to interception ratio is? Anybody?
I think it's like what? It's like it's even or less than even.
3 touchdowns to 1 interception every single time he plays an opponent. Now it's obviously varied. One of those games it's kind of offset by 5 touchdowns in one game and no picks, and that was UCLA. So that's kind of a top 25 team. So if we take that game out, guess what? We're talking 7-4 in touchdown to interception ratio. Bo Nix experience is the truth. If you see this Auburn hat, you know I know what I'm talking about here. I dealt with him for how many years in a row of playing against SEC teams every week in and out, and watching him throw 2 picks, 3 touchdowns, and 240 yards and disappoint us, because the picks aren't any just Joe Schmo picks in the first quarter, third quarter. No, they're second quarter going into halftime, their fourth quarter going to try to win a game, and then the second drive you get trying to win the game. Bo Nix experience is real. He has not thrown an interception yet this season, which means, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to throw 2 at least in this game against Colorado. These corners for Colorado are no joke. Even without Travis Hunter, they have the best all-around corner in the transfer portal this last year, along with a top 100 ranked corner that'll be replacing Travis Hunter. And the 2 quality corners, all you need against Oregon. And then look out for Dominic, number 44 for Colorado. He's a defensive end, outside linebacker, stand-up rusher. He's been leading that team for pass rushing, coming on out of nowhere for him. He will have at least 2 sacks in this game. So I'm going to go Colorado with the upset in this one. It's going to be a lot lower scoring game than a lot of teams, a lot of people are expecting. It'll be the first time Oregon will be held underneath 20 points since they got shut out by Georgia. And by shut out, I mean they only scored 3 points a year and a half ago. So, yeah, no, this is going to be give me Colorado in this one. This is not going to be a pretty game for Bo Nix at all.
All right. So we're split on this game, which I fucking love this, man. All right.
Trust Bo Nix, man.
Last college game. The most annoying college in college football versus the second most annoying college in college football.
We're not talking about the Texas game, man. So chill out.
Mace, you realize you being a Sooner is the reason why they're the most annoying to you.
No, partner. That's not the way it works, champ.
To me, as a Miami fan, the 3 most annoying colleges to me are those inbreds from Tallahassee, those those
Alabama.
Bible thumpers from South Bend, and those morons
Ohio State.
from Columbus. That's it.
FSU.
Those are the most three annoying colleges to me. I don't give a fuck about Texas and Oklahoma. Y'all can beat the fuck out of each other for all I care.
Texas is number 3 in my book. To be fair, I get it. Notre Dame's not even.
Oh,
in the
I
top 5
understand
for me.
it, but just to me as a non like in that rivalry or in that conference, I don't give a fuck. I just look for a good game every time they play each other. The fuck do I care?
I could do without
You make your
FSU.
pick. I could do without FSU. I could do without Miami as well. I have to hear about it's just like Miami fans are Cowboys fans in the college ranking.
Right.
Shut your whore mouth.
That's what they
Imagine
are.
college football was like WWE and they like gave Vanderbilt a push and just Vanderbilt just rolled through everybody.
Yo, Vandy is no joke, boys. If that was the case, if it was WWE, Vandy would figure out a way.
They'd be like unanimous, like world heavyweight champion.
Those writers.
All right. Who wants to jump on this grenade? We'll start. I guess I'll take it. Listen, Ohio State's had their growing pains with the new quarterback. I don't love Notre Dame so far. All right. They beat 8.
That's insane, man. They
beat an
wild.
okay. They beat an okay North Carolina State team. That's their best win. The same team who lost to a dysfunctional Miami roster a year ago. I can't pick North Carolina. I can't pick a team. Hey, shut the fuck up, Kelsey. Give me OSU on the road. This is not a game they lose. The physicality and athlete and size difference is what's going to make this is going to be as close as shit. It's going to come out of the last possession, but I think OSU handles it by at least 4 to 7 points.
No, Notre Dame, Sam Hartman. There's no. All I have to say is Sam Hartman, and that's enough. If this was Wake Forest with Sam Hartman at the lead for Wake Forest, I would still take Sam Hartman in Wake Forest. Ohio State does not have a quarterback. McCord is not a quarterback right now. He is a mystery that is dressing up as a quarterback. Like he's literally just has the assignment next to his position. That's it.
He's
not
a
actually
fraud, is what he is. I think that's
they don't have a quarterback on that roster. So.
Yeah, you guys know my pick. Yeah, it's Indy at home, man. I think Ohio State has got. I'm looking at this schedule right now. I think they are for sure dropping this game tomorrow night. I think they're going to lose to Michigan, and I think somewhere along the way they're dropping a third game.
USC or Michigan. Yeah, USC is probably the game.
It was a rebuild year,
right? Well, and I think Mr. Day's job is going to be up for consideration by the end of the season. When things play out in which the way that they will. So, yeah, I'm taking the Irish at home, cover, win, and I don't think it's going to be particularly close.
Is this your upset pick?
Is Notre Dame not favored?
Notre Dame is a 3-point dog at home, which counts as an upset.
100%, yeah.
So, Chris, mark it. Mason's upset is Notre Dame at home.
That is mind-boggling to me that they're a field goal dog
I checked
at home.
This morning. I thought it was going to be a push, and I'm like, oh wait, it's still 3.
Yeah, just to pick them. Yeah.
Basically, no. Listen, it would be a pick if it was Notre Dame -3 at home, because that means neutral site. It's even, but it's -3 for Ohio State on the road. I was like, oof, okay. Yeah, still -3 as of like an hour ago.
Yep.
All right. Matty boy, who are you taking here?
Listen, if Rudy wasn't such a terrible movie, I might entertain Notre Dame. But
Thank you.
I have to go Ohio State right here.
Killing me, Matt.
My heart just broke, Matt. Me and you have such a bromance in our life this entire time. You just broke my heart.
Fuck Rudy.
Just broke my heart.
Listen, I don't know, man. I didn't, when you're like 6 or 7 years old and you really don't like a movie, that movie's really bad. That was Rudy for me. I can't even watch it. They do the Rudy chant. I just mock all of them. And it's a movie.
Yeah, it's like,
so give me OSA.
Man.
I own 3 different copies of Rudy for 3 different versions of my life. Movie. I have a VHS version, I have a DVD version, and I have the copy on my computer.
And I was watching the bitches in your head as well. It's always there. It's good.
I was watching the specific season of Stranger Things where the guy that played Rudy was in it as the girl's boyfriend. Yeah, I forgot his name. Sean Astin, and he died. And I was I liked his character. I liked this character a lot in that show. And he got just ripped apart and died. And for a second, I was upset. And then I was like, hey, he played Rudy.
Whoa,
He's all
whoa,
right.
whoa. We will not. He played.
I was
Samwise.
upset because it was Samwise the Great. Like that's why I was upset about that one. But like,
He was a kid in the Goonies too, though. He's all right.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I love his performance in Goonies. I love him in Lord of the Rings. My favorite movie series of all time. But like, yo, fuck Rudy. All right,
I'm never coming.
my
back on this
favorite
one. You
version
guys
of
just
Rudy
broke
is
my
the
heart.
J.K. Watt version of Rudy.
I'm gonna take my
Yes,
6
and
and 0
else
from
you're like,
picks,
yo,
from
fuck
picks
no,
this
I ain't
week,
giving
and
this to my jersey.
I'm taking my 6 and 0 from picks this week, and I'm never coming back. I'm taking my ball and going home.
Well, that's okay because that means I'll hit on my upset.
All right, Brent.
As much as pains me to say it, being because USC's biggest rival is Notre Dame still to this day, I'm taking Notre Dame. They have a better quarterback, and that's this game's going to come down to. I think they win by 7 to 10 points once again. Hartman's better than whatever Ohio State's putting out there, and I'm going to go with what Kevin from the Belly Up. He always says, I hate Ohio State more than anybody else, so that's why I want Ohio State to lose. I actually think Notre Dame's got a pretty good team, and they have a better quarterback. And that's what's going to come down to. Take Notre Dame to win this game outright.
Wait,
By the
Matt,
way,
I think it might be time to bring back Jared's hierarchy of hate when it comes to colleges again. I think it might be time to bring it back.
Yeah, shut up. You don't know anything about football. You literally cheer for a rival of your team in every other sport.
No,
in
only
college
one
football.
sport. Only one sport.
It's bad enough. That's bad enough. You cheer for
It's
a
because of
rival.
My
to
friends who I grew
Miami.
up with. It's not.
Anyways,
listen,
it doesn't matter.
I
I
wish
need to
I
get back
wasn't
to
a
this
fan.
trophy conversation because Brent, I'm glad that you said that USC and Notre Dame is still one of the biggest rivalries because they have the best trophy for their rivalry
That is
of all
true.
time.
That is
Shillelagh. The Shillelagh, yeah. I've been fortunate enough to go to a few of those games. It's actually quite the environment. It's fantastic. Like it's unbelievable to watch, and it's a lot of fun to be around that. And it's well, we can talk about that another day, but yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, listen. I enjoy those games because my first experience of the Notre Dame USC rivalry was the Reggie Bush push.
What a game!
I grew up a Notre Dame fan, so that was the heartbreak moment for me.
That was
what a game.
As a kid, I was like, because I loved
heartbreaking.
Reggie Bush as a kid. I was like, oh, this guy's so much fun. And I never was a fan of USC. I tried to be, but I'm like, I can't really be a fan. I just like the player. And then like I watched that game, I was like, this is fucking wild. I'm like, I snuck downstairs at the age of like 10.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So ridiculous.
I had a game the next morning for Pop Warner. I snuck downstairs to watch the end of the game because it was in I believe it was in Los Angeles. And
No,
it was
that was a Notre Dame game because that
was Notre Dame. Okay, it was at 11:30 at night.
Season.
Okay, as a 11-year-old sitting downstairs at 11:30 at night, I'm sitting down to watch the game. I turn the TV on, I'm watching it, and I watched it live. And I'm sitting there like my head's like, this is fucking crazy.
It was crazy. No,
my dad came downstairs, wasn't even mad that he was just watching it with me. He wasn't even a college football fan. He never is. He was watching it with me because he's like, this is fucking intense. We both watched the screen for like the 20 minutes they took to get over that fucking call. Either way, I love that rivalry. But yeah,
there are four college football games I have cried over in my life. That was the first football game I've ever cried over.
Yeah. I've only cried over 2.
4. A national championship will make you cry.
Yeah, well, my team has
cry in
one
college.
6 years old, so.
You cried in college for one of the games.
I did cry in college.
I cried because I lost money on that Oregon-Ohio State game, man.
That's what it was. I knew it was Oregon. I just forgot what it was that you got.
Because I was a big Mariota guy in college. That's why I love.
Yeah, I know.
Mariota.
You had the jersey, I think.
Yeah, the one jersey of a college that I never actually rooted for as a team was Marcus Mariota's Oregon jersey. All right, Deej.
I hate this game so much. I hate picking this one. I would never bet on this one. Ohio State's 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. Notre Dame's 4-1 against the spread in their last 5.
There it is.
Sam Hartman's the best quarterback Notre Dame's had since Brady Quinn. They look outstanding in my opinion. I think he's been fantastic. So
I agree with you. I think he might be better than Brady Quinn.
It's been 3 games against nobody. So
it's funny when you hear it's better than Brady Quinn.
Yeah. Brady Quinn's biggest knock is that he's AJ Hawk's brother-in-law at this point.
College Brady Quinn could sling it though. I'm just saying he was throwing.
Oh, no, 100%. I totally agree.
Yeah.
But it's a tough game. I hate this one. I think Ohio State's better in the skill positions, receiver, running back, etc. I don't think Notre Dame could keep track of them. It's can McCord actually get them the ball, which should not be hard. You have a Ferrari wearing number 18 outside. You just kind of put it in his vicinity. Sam Hartman. For the sake of being different, I'm gonna take Ohio State, but I don't like it, and I'm not betting on it. I'm not happy. About
BJ.
I think it's gonna be razor close.
Anytime you make Jared happy, you pick the wrong team.
The Neuralink agrees with me.
I think it's gonna be like 24-25 or something stupid.
You give me shit, Kels, but I've won 5 out of the last 6 years in this pick competition.
Yeah, because I'm not included in 5 out of the last 6 years.
You have to pick every week. And you also have to buy into the jersey buy. So
you just have to invite me.
Okay.
Seems to be a lot of stipulations.
No, it's not. That's Brent. It's not hard. You basically just have to buy into the jersey buy-in because basically at the end of the year, all the losers buy the winner a jersey.
There you go.
I'll just round mine
so
up.
Matt has a sauce harder.
I'll just take all the money that everybody owes me off this show, and that's gonna be my buy-in for the jersey.
Jesus Christ. All right. Okay. Finally, we're getting to the NFL ball. Jeez, that took fucking forever. All right. Kickoff's in about 30 seconds. Quick. This one isn't counting, but tonight, anybody taking the Giants?
To cover.
No.
That's it.
Anybody taking the Giants to cover?
No.
Wait, what is the spread at right now?
What's the line?
It's 10.5 right now. 10.5 right now.
10.5.
10.5. I'm taking 10.5.
Giants cover.
I'm not taking Giants to cover. No Saquon, no cover. I think Daniel Jones throws at least 2 picks tonight.
No Dimes era, bro.
No Brandon Ayuk.
Dimes
does
fumbles,
that not affect you?
Dimes era, not happening.
Danny Fumbles is back, baby.
Brandon Ayuk is the only receiver on that team that can actually run a 16-yard route or more and get the ball thrown to him.
It doesn't matter. The Giants can't stop the run, so it's not going to mean shit.
McCaffrey runs wild tonight, 16, 17 points easily.
Thank you, Mr. Brent. All right.
My fantasy team will be okay with that.
The 2 NFL games I thought would be fun. Falcons, Lions. 2 teams that are Kelsey just fucking rolled his eyes. You thought I was going to say
the 2 teams that I'm like okay with right now in life, and I didn't have to pick against each
other.
Like.
All right, I'll start off. All right, brother, give me Motor City, Dan Campbell, and the fellas to bounce back. Listen, the Falcons lucked out because the Packers pulled their foot off the gas last week. The Lions, they were one
Jordan Love
holding
just doesn't
call
know how to line up under center.
They were one holding call away from icing that game against Gino and the boys. Give me the Lions to bounce back. This team is playoff bound this year. No Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, no problem. They won with no defense last year. They win with no defense this year. Give me the Lions to win. Also, look out for the Lions to make a deal to go get defensive back help as we go through the season. It sucks that GJ is down, but he shouldn't have been talking so much shit about the Eagles for them basically reviving his career. Either way, I got the Lions winning here. Goff and the boys are going to be slinging it. That Falcons secondary, besides Terrell and Bates, is a little weak. Kels.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not going with the Lions because no David Montgomery. So I'm going with the Falcons. Bijan Robinson.
You're not buying the Craig Reynolds train?
No, I'm going to ride the Bijan Robinson and Drake London train.
All right. I'm rolling Lions here. I'm not seeing them lose back to back. Just a tough loss last week against Seattle. Ritter sucks, man. And I think even though Amon-Ra is kind of up in the air to play, they've just got too many weapons in Detroit. Gibbs, Laporta, Josh Reynolds.
Okay, hold on. Time. Okay, stop now.
And
Josh Reynolds is a weapon.
And they're at home. So
you
I'll
just said
take
Josh
Lions
Reynolds was a weapon. Hold on. We need to take.
Yeah, check the stat line from last week.
How can we penalize him for this? Like a 1 week. Okay, he gives you a 1 week a year. Does not make him a weapon.
All right. So are the Falcons just a nasty defense that's going to be punishing?
No,
right.
But they're better than the Lions offense.
He's the number 1 option for Detroit if Amon-Ra doesn't play. Who's locking him down on dude, I mean, you saw the way the Packers receivers were eating last week, bro.
Matt Collins looked like a number 1 receiver last week. Let's be honest here.
That's because everyone was terrified of him. He's 290.
Josh Reynolds is a number 5 receiver on any team. Any team not named the Lions, he's a 5th receiver. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, he's not getting a weapon. AJ Terrell easily locks him up. And let's not forget, Jesse Bates is one of the top interception getters in the NFC, in the NFL right now.
All right, but last week though, like whoever the fuck like Jaden Reed is, 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Like I'm not gonna let you tell me. Like I'm not gonna let you tell me
You run
that.
enough under routes, it's gonna happen.
Okay, well, so whoever
Sellers,
Jaden Reed is,
I
like I'm
will
sure he's not as
reiterate.
good as Josh Reynolds.
The biggest thing I saw in that game was the Packers defense pulled their foot off the gas and Atlanta got after it. It was not a matter of the fact that Atlanta won. It's that fucking Green Bay lost that game. That's what I can't keep reiterating. It's because I watched that game live. I stuck on that game because I had my option of watch whatever game I wanted. Besides the games that went to overtime that were on my side screens, I had the Atlanta Green Bay game because I'm like, this game is fucking lit. And then I just watched the play calling, less blitzes, less press coverage. I'm like, they're getting soft. And Atlanta started picking them apart. Because Ritter's not a bad quarterback. He's not a great quarterback.
He's an average.
He's average, but he doesn't make bad mistakes. And Green Bay was counting on him to make a bad mistake. He wasn't. And that's what killed him. And the thing is,
Game
Detroit
managers win NFL games.
Exactly. But, all right, we're going to bring the intern in here as well because, it's coming to the end of the show.
I'm back.
But, all right. So, Mace, you made your pick, right? You taking Detroit?
Yeah. So Lions, we're doing outright, right?
Yeah, outrights. No money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Chris, Lions.
All right, Mr. Brent, wrapping up. We got one more pick left in your corner booth debut.
It pains me to say this, but the Lions should win this game. But you know what? They won't because they're the Lions. Take the Falcons because the Lions are the Lions, and they'll end up winning 3 games once again this year. One of those things.
All right, fair enough. Matthew.
Detroit got beat at home last week. They should be 2-0 on this season, but they let Seattle get the best of them. I don't think this happens again. Yep, so but they are not. But I don't think the Falcons get the best of them this week again at home. Listen, I'm looking at that rookie Sam Laporta. I know I'm high on him. I know Mason's high on him. This man averages about 5 catches a week so far. I think he's going to be a next up and coming tight end for the NFL. I'm waiting for him to get his first touchdown so I can celebrate in my fantasy league. And I think it's going to be this week. Give me the Lions. It's going to be very, very close. But I think they walk away with this victory.
It's the perfect storm, Matt. If Amon-Ra doesn't play, dude, it is the perfect storm for this dude to really pop off.
They said the same about Jay Sternberger in Dallas.
Jameer Gibbs stan of all time. All right, Deej.
If Amon-Ra plays, it's the Lions. If he doesn't play, then the Falcons win. So if he plays, I'll take it.
I need Amon-Ra to play because I need to bounce back after being 0-2 in my league that trophy's from. So I need a win here, and Amon-Ra's got to play. All right, Chris, you sit in the back patiently. Read off your picks so far, and then your pick for a Falcons at Lions.
Jared, I'm just gonna make this short and sweet. Me and you had the exact same picks this week.
Kids learning.
It's that Bird Gang connection. So I'm feeling it. I'm on the phone tonight, so I'm gonna have to go to the notes app real quick. I took going back to college.
Deej is out.
Utah, Bama, Colorado with the upset, Ohio State, and Detroit.
There you go. All right.
All right, you heard that. Thank God.
Wait. Who did you take? OSU and Notre Dame.
OSU.
Okay. Make sure
I'm picking on an empty stomach, so this might not be good for me.
Bro, listen, I haven't eaten since about 3:00. I'm starving right now. And I'm 3 beers in, so I need to get some food in me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bills, 6.5-point favorites at home versus the Eric Bieniemy's reinvented offense. Shout out to DJ and Kels last week for bringing this up. They have been a better team. I believe one of you mentioned they're averaging 27 a game so far.
27.5 under Bieniemy offensively versus 17.5 for the Chiefs offensively since Bieniemy's left.
There you go. All right. The problem is their secondary ain't great. Pass rush ain't bad, but their secondary ain't great. And
you believe in sacks.
Yeah, but they also have one of the most mobile quarterbacks in football. And the one way to negate a good pass rush with no secondary is have a guy who likes to run.
Chase for the young
Unless
money.
his name is Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, listen. It's going to be a closer game. I think the commies will cover, but I got the Bills here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go next. Bills. I'm just gonna skip straight forward and say Bills.
All right, Mace.
Yep, same as Kelsey. Bills. No explanation necessary.
Mr. Brent.
Bills. Josh Allen looked great last week. I think they overtaken his. Mason said he's got turnover problems, but the Bills are great, and Josh Allen's going to overrun the Commodores. Lionel Richie and the Commodores, so we call them on our show.
Commodores, I love it.
Yeah, you call them the Commandos, everything else. We call them the Commodores. So there it is. The Bills to win. They go by a whole bunch.
All right, Mr. DJ.
So the Bills will win, but the Compadres will cover. I think it'll be a bit of a shootout.
Compadres.
I just wanted to fit in. We were thinking of fun names for them.
There you go.
I got the Bills as well over the Comrades. I'm not a big I don't know. I like the whole rejuvenated offense under Eric Bieniemy. I think it's very interesting to see with Andy Reid apparently making the play calls the entire time, and just to see him leave and to see the difference and shift in that offense. Not a big Riverboat Ron fan, but see how Sam Howell goes. But I think the Bills take this one.
All right. And then intern Chris to finish us off strong here before we get to upsets and gimmies.
Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. I'm sticking with the Bills.
Chris Berman. All right. So none of us have the Kamikazes taking a win tonight. Okay, I get on Sunday. I guess that's how it goes. All right. I had to come up with some of them, guys. All right. Upsets and gimmies. My gimme this week is my Miami Hurricanes over Chris's Temple Owls. The line's 22.5 as it stands right now. Van Dyke's been on fire. They have 4 different running backs who could light you up for 100 yards, and Caleb Young is going to be a problem to cover. And apparently Cam Kitchens may play, which is awesome because I thought the dude died. Not DeMar Hamlin died, but I thought like his career was over. I was getting a lot of Amon Richards flashbacks to like neck injuries and Malik Young, and I was really getting scared. But then apparently he got up and he was fine. So far, so good. I got Miami as my gimme over Temple. Kels, Brent, and DJ, you guys don't have to take gimmies or upsets if you don't want to. I can take a gimme. Whatever you guys want to do.
Hang on, let me go to. I just Kansas over. Crap, I'm trying to think of who they play. It's like a plus 200 odds for.
You're not going UConn over Duke?
Get out of here with that.
Just stop.
Here we go.
Somebody else must have
never coming back.
Hold on. Oh, God, the phone's not working. Here
What's up with Purdy targeting Debo 3 times in a row? What's up with that, man? Hand the ball off.
I took Debo plus 3 receptions. Here we go.
By the way,
no, incomplete 3 times. Incomplete 3 times, Jared.
Did Kittle get a touchdown yet? I got him for first touchdown.
No.
They're kicking a field goal right now.
Shit.
Told you the Giants will cover.
Yeah. No,
Go ahead, Kelsey.
BYU.
It's because the Giants, the best defense the Niners have played all season so far, which is really embarrassing schedule-wise.
Okay. So Kansas over BYU for the 7th time.
All right.
Because Jared kept talking at the exact same time.
I am going the Georgia Bulldogs over the University of Alabama at Birmingham Blazers.
How dare you disrespect the doctors like that?
Sickest PEs of all time. UAB always gets sick PEs for cleats and basketball shoes. Brent, if you got a gimme or an upset, here's your time to toss it.
I got a gimme right here. The Miami Dolphins over the Denver Broncos. That's a gimme guaranteed. Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. That experience not going to last very long. That's a gimme guaranteed. That's happening for sure. There's no doubt about that. Wilson and Payton, who's going to get released first and see what's going to happen there.
I will clap for that one. All right, Deej, you got an upset or a gimme for me?
For a gimme, I'm going to take Kelsey's Dallas Cowboys over the Arizona Cardinals, even without Trayvon Diggs. And if I jinx them, sorry in advance, Kelsey, my bad. But that's
I'm already crying about that game. It's just okay internally right now.
I'm getting you ready for it.
Deej, after the show, go in the other room and give Kelsey a hug. He needs one.
I don't need a hug. I'll have some DJ.
That'll make it worse.
All right. All right, Maddie. You took a similar upset to me and Chris, so you just need to give me.
Could go Southern Connecticut State University versus Bentley,
Shut
or
up.
I could
That's a big
go. I
Me
could
and Matt's alma
go.
mater, that's why.
USC.
I
from
could
Canada.
go.
I don't even know.
Could go
USC is
Michigan
like
State over, or not Michigan State. I'm going to go Michigan over Rutgers. Is my game.
Okay, so you're taking the inverse of one of our house upsets. All right, Chris, you took the same upset as me and Matt. You got a game me for me.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks over the Panthers.
No
NFL.
Bryce Young, no problem. Apparently,
Yeah, no Bryce Young. I mean, probably
welcome
guaranteed loss.
to the backup show, kids.
Well, I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, they got future Hall of Famer Randy Dalton, if you ask Miles Sanders, so should be fine.
A red rifle.
Red rocket
airsoft. It's more
It's
like
gotta be
a red airsoft gun at this point.
It's got to be the greatest over-exaggerated endorsement I've ever heard. We got a future Hall of Fame quarterback in Andy Dalton backing us up.
Oh my God, Miles Sanders! Like I think his
Old
brain
ginger
got
snap himself.
fractured a little bit during the 2021 season. Too many carries. All right, house upset. If me, Mace, and Chris and Matt all agree on it, Texan. If it hits, we all get an extra point this week. Texans over the Jags. Texans get the first win of the season. Everyone agree? Nobody opposed to this if it hits?
Not a chance.
I know. That's why it's a house upset. Brent, the whole house upset are we all get a point if this hits. It started when the Jags were 20-point dogs to the Packers, and they lost by 1. And this was like 2 years ago, and that's where the segment started. So every couple of weeks we'll do a house upset, and we're like 1-8 in house upset picks, but that one that hit like propelled Kevin into the to being second and knocked our boy Pat out. It was like one of those like weird little shenanigan things, but the house upset's kind of fun. So all the boys get a point if Houston pulls it off. But ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure hanging with you tonight. Shout out to our sponsors, SeatGeek, Candidates, Smaller Bros, and Belly Up Media. Mr. Brent, where can we find your amazing content?
Well, we're the 1420 podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. We're all over everywhere. You can find us at on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. We do it's 4 beers, 355 times 4 in Canada. That's what a beer is. Me and Dave get together twice a week. We talk sports like you would in your local sports bar. We don't get too in depth on stats, but we have a lot of laughs and everything else twice a week, and then we have a morning show and everything else. But yeah, lots going on here, and it's a lot of fun being part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Thank you very much for having me on your show tonight,
Brent. I'm happy we finally got you on. It has been a long time coming, and it was a pleasure having you on. DJ and Kels, the Bert and Ernie of our crew. Where can we find your amazing content?
Go Grizz!
Yeah, I guess I'm going in this one. So you can find us every Thursday, 8 p.m. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, live on Facebook, on YouTube, and anywhere else you can find us. And then we go live, or our episodes are available every Thursday on any platform. You can find us at High Low Sports on every social media, at high_low_sports on X, because we just have to be different on Elon's platform because he doesn't let anything be okay. Other than that, you can find us Tuesdays to do Tier Tuesdays, and Fridays to do Fantasy Friday, and that's what we do.
There you
And
go.
DJ's best bets on Saturday.
Which actually won me $3 this week. So DJ, thank you.
Those bonus bets from 3 for 3. I won money on it too. I parlayed the bonus bets and it actually worked.
Well, listen, I got yelled at by somebody who took one of my bets and tried to ride the money line instead of the spread, and I'm like, that was your fault. Like I told you, spread only. Some of my bets, guys. Listen, I am one of those guys who shoots from the hip on a lot of these bets. If you do not feel comfortable, do not throw your money out on my account. Okay, I give you my bets because I am a gutsy picker. Matt's been witness. I've won some of these parlays in a straight shot, but it's because I'm willing to take some crazy odds. My best parlay ever hit $850.
I did that recently.
$3 buy-in. I hit some crazy shit, but it's because I'm a risk taker. If you do not feel safe taking my picks, do not pull the trigger. And you can find me, that handsome devil Mason, Mr. Matt, and our hardworking intern Chris at Everything Corner Booth Pod. You can find Matt at Big Wisp on X. Mason is Corner Booth MR, and Chris helps me run the Corner Booth Twitter account as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. Shout out to Belly Up Media, obviously, for supporting this whole show. 1420 Podcast and High Low Sports for always keeping it real and for coming on today. And, of course, for myself and the whole crew, we hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy this amazing slate of football. And we hope you drink responsibly. You never drink and drive, obviously. And cheers to an empty beer glass. Peace.